So yeah, today we're going to get started with a great little webinar. I think, Jessica, would you like to introduce Dr. Tamar Andrews?
Sure thing. So yes, thank you so much for all of you who are here, or if you're watching this from a recording, thank you so much. We are honored to have Tamar Andrews with us. Tamar is an early childhood education expert as well as a preschool director. She has more than 30 years of experience in the field, and today she's going to be talking about maximizing profitability in a childcare center and still finding happiness and joy in her work. So without further ado, Tamar, take it away.
Hi, everybody. My name is Dr. Tamar Andrews, and I'm only 20. So yes, I have a lot of years of experience, but I am only 20 years old. And one of the things that people ask me about almost predominantly when I meet them and starting to mentor them is, how do you have such a full school? How do you maximize profit? Why do you always seem so happy? And we're going to go through that today. So let me first share my screen with you. For those of you that need a little visual something, and don't mind the coat. I'm from California and I'm sitting here in the playground offices right now in New York, and it's cold. So maximizing profit and loving the work you do. So let's get into it. First of all, if you've gotten into this field, like any other business in the world, if you go in it with just the idea of making money, you're probably not going to love it. If you talk to most people that work in finance, even some lawyers, they'll say, yeah, I make a lot of money, but I don't love what I do. What we're going to talk about today is really how to get both. So give yourself a little check, a little self-reflection for a minute, and ask yourself, do I really have passion for what I'm doing? Because if you look at the people who are most successful, let's look at the top, right? Elon Musk, really successful tech guy. He's not actually a car manufacturer. He's a tech guy, and he loves finding solutions to problems. And that passion has driven him to be very successful in all of his endeavors. Are you ambitious? Now, ambition is really not just, yes, I want to do this. If you are an ambitious person, that means you're going to put a lot of hours and a lot of effort, and you're going to try to meet a lot of people. You're going to use what I call the 3 energies. You're going to use cognitive energy, physical energy, and emotional energy. And what you invest into that startup and trying to make this business successful is what you're going to get out of it. So that ambition is really the drive to work really hard to achieve your goals. And then you need the dedication. I mean, imagine starting a school and you've got maybe 100 children. That means you have maybe 75 to 100 families. You might have, 40 or so teachers. You have a lot of people relying on you. If people know that you're in this for the long haul, if you're dedicated, they are going to go to you. They're also going to go to you because that dedication and ambition and passion are going to make you somewhat of a fixture. And what I mean by that is the same way that people will go to restaurants around the world because they know exactly what they're going to get when they go to that restaurant or to that clothing store, no matter where it is in the world, no matter where you are in time, your school will always have the same level of quality. Now, we're not going to talk about quality so much today. That's a whole other webinar, but we are going to talk about putting your program together for the, maximizing finances. And so the last part of this is creativity. There are thousands of childcare centers, from tiny little home childcare to huge chains. Doesn't matter where you are on that spectrum, but you've got to stand out. There are probably going to be at least 3, 4, maybe even 10 different childcare centers within a vicinity that a parent can choose. What's going to set you apart from everybody else? So let me just, oops, there you go. The slides are a little backwards. This is the tool that you need to get started. It's a small investment. I didn't write it, so I am not making money off of this, but it is called the Program Administration Scale. And in order to operate a program that at least has the quality that you need to make good money, you've got to invest in one of these. And if you're familiar with the Eckers or the Eiders, this is the same kind of scale where it takes you across. It's a whole other thing to learn how to use this book, but it's relatively simple. And what it has is it's got all the different aspects of your program that will help you understand how to make a high quality program. So for example, number one, I have never spent a penny on advertising any of the childcare centers that I have worked in. I've never actually even owned my own. I've had more fun putting together or fixing failing ones, but I've never spent a penny on advertisement. And the reason why is because you have a finite amount of money in any childcare center. And as a result, what you want to do is you want to take that money, and as much as you have to spare, you want to put it into the people that work there and into the people that live there. So for every dollar that I save, and I can put back 50 cents in my pocket and 50 cents into staff salaries, I am going to do that. So human resources is going to be your number one thing, because then when people are happy at their job, again, let's use that restaurant or the clothing store analogy. If I've gone to a restaurant that I love, and Jessica, Benny, somebody else says, hey, let's go out to eat, my first answer is going to be, oh my gosh, I just went to this great place. You've got to go with me. I want to go again. It was fantastic. Similarly, oh, where'd you get that outfit? Oh, I got this at the Map. It was this amount of money, and you should see what they have at that store. That is where you are going to get the best sources of referrals, because your teachers and the people that work for you probably live in the same catchment area as the families you are trying to pull from. And as such, when they go out to babysit or they're online at Target and they see a cute little kid standing online at Target and they make little googly faces, the parent's going to go, oh my gosh, you're so good with kids. Oh yes, well, I work at ABC Preschool just down the block. You should check it out. It's amazing. So that's how you fill up your center. Again, I could go through this whole pass thing over and over and over, but the truth is, I think you get the idea. This will help guide you in terms of setting up a high quality center. So again, it's the program administration scale. And I'm happy to give you my cell phone number, my email address, if you need help using this. Here are just some of the sections that are in the pass. And by the way, there are other things besides this that you can use to do quality. But this is how you use the program administration scale. I'm going to go back one more time to number 2. So let's talk about number 2. And I am here at the playground offices. But the reason why I'm such a big fan, so the preschool that I just retired from after 20 years, loved it, but I want to do other things like this. I worked there for 20 years, and we had at the peak right before COVID, 350 children in that childcare center. With those 350 children came 4 to 5 people working in the office. So during enrollment periods, I would have even sometimes 6 because there was so much paperwork. Now, each one of those people was making anywhere from $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 a year if they were full-time. As a result of this automation that I did, I was actually now able to take number 2 and number 1 and combine them together. Why? Because I had one person, for example, we'll call her Mary. I called Mary the keeper of all holy documents, because I could not operate or even go to sleep at night if I didn't think all my licensing forms were completed. So every parent would stand online when it was enrollment period, and Mary would go through the 15 different forms to make sure that they had filled everything out. Additionally, a few times a year, she'd have to check all the files or keep a record of when a child's immunizations were due. Then on a day-to-day, she would get phone calls from parents. I need to add a day. I need to stay late. I need to come early. And then she'd have to go into the billing system and add however much she was going to bill them for. And so right there, I had one person who just was that keeper of all holy documents. By automating all of my paperwork, I now eliminated that position. I didn't actually fire anybody, but when she left, just so happened to be for COVID. And then during COVID, we got playground. I now have $60,000 that I am putting back into my pocket and into staff salaries. Everybody's happy. Not only that, but billing. So I had another girl, she was just my front office person. She would make sure that all the sign-in sheets came in every day, filled out, that every parent actually signed and the time and yada, yada, yada. And then during the day when she wasn't busy, oh, hi, Mrs. Smith, I'm so sorry to bother you yet again, but your payment for this month's tuition hasn't been received or your check has bounced. And so I don't have that need anymore either, because all of my billing is automated. Every single thing I do pretty much is automated. And as a result, I now have another position's salary that I put into the pocket or into the staff salaries, and everybody's happy. So again, streamlining has allowed me to do the job that I actually loved. So I hated, I mean, look, it's my job to call parents and tell them that they are late with tuition. I get it. It is my job to tell parents that I know that you're in the Bahamas, but you can't come back to school until your child's actually gotten their other immunization. I have licensing breathing down my neck. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. You have to come back. You didn't actually sign your child out today, and as a result, we're not legally able to take care of your child until you come back. I know you're an hour away, but little Johnny's going to stay in my office until you come back and sign your child in. Those were the 5-second, 10-second, 5-minute tasks that I said, oh my God, I've had such a hard day. I can't believe this is what I spent my day on. And so as a result of that, my life was very stressful until I figured out a way to do my job in a way that left me to do what I love most. And my favorite thing about working in early childhood is actually staff development. I love sitting in classrooms and telling teachers what a great job they're doing. I love sitting outside right after drop off and chatting with parents and hearing about what a hard time they might be having because they're going through a divorce. Those are the kinds of relational things, right, that actually make people love to come to your center. And let's face it, if people love coming to you, you love coming to work every day and loving your job. So I think Benny and Jessica probably can do a better job if any of you need, and telling you how Playground can streamline and give you all of these services. But let's move on to making more money. I want to be mindful of time as well. So let me give you an example here. When I first started at my previous job, we had kids coming 5 days a week. And I'm just using round numbers to make this really simple, but they were coming 5 days a week and they were paying $1,000 a month, right? So for every spot that I had in the childcare center, I was making $1,000 a month. Well, there were parents who didn't need full-time childcare. Maybe they had a split schedule at work. They didn't need childcare every day, or grandma. I'm now a grandma. I'm only 20, remember that, but I'm now a grandma too. And so I'm happy to take my child once a week, my grandchild once a week. But in a childcare center that bills only 5 days a week, there is no way to save money. Now, look, if I've got my grandchild 1 day a week and the other grandma has her the other day a week, then my daughter and son-in-law only need childcare 3 times a week. Well, wow, they can save $350 at my center if they only choose a Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule. So they win and I win. Why? Because now I have a Tuesday, Thursday slot open, and all I have to do is find somebody who wants that Tuesday, Thursday slot. And now I'm charging $500 for the Tuesday, Thursday, and I'm charging, which is more than what you would pay for half a week, and I'm charging $650 for the 3 days. So there's a little bit of a premium for having that modified kind of schedule. But at the end of the day, I'm making $1,150 per month for that one child space rather than just $1,000. Multiply that, let's just say, again, round numbers, you have space for 10 children in a classroom. I'm now making $1,150 more a month, or anywhere from $10,000 to $11,000 more per year. That's money. I mean, that's $10,000 to $11,000. That is real money. And that's only in one classroom for 10 children. If you've got a room with 20 kids, or you've got 3 or 4 children, it's just exponentially more money, right? Okay, let's look at another way you can do this. You could go to a 12-month school year. So first of all, why? I want to take you on a journey through a teacher's life. Stressful first week coming back, let's say in August, they got to set up their room. It's never enough time to set up the room. And depending on how the calendar goes, that school year might start on, the setup might start on Tuesday because of where Labor Day fell. I might only have 4 days to set up. And if I'm a legally operating childcare center, I really can't afford to pay you overtime. And this group of children comes in, let's just say it's 10 kids, right? Round numbers. And I've got a school year. Now, I also need to close perhaps in December for a week or two. I close maybe in April for a week or two. And then I've got to close for a week in order to change the school over to the summer camp. I've got to have a whole new curriculum for summer camp. Then I've got to take that all down, close again for another week, and school starts again. That's a lot of transitions. And what do we say in early childhood? Transitions are stressful. They're not just stressful on young children. They are very stressful on teachers and families and everybody else, especially teachers who might have young children whose schools don't start yet. And what do I do with my child? Well, I have to set up or work in childcare, and my child's school hasn't opened yet. By going to a 12-month school year, here's how it works best. Number one, it helps teachers have a salary for 12 months. I don't have to worry about those times that I'm off. I have a 12-month salary. I also only have to change my room around once, not twice. I only have to get to know one group of 10 kids instead of maybe a different group of 10 kids. I'm also now hiring teachers who want to work a 12-month school year. It's really hard if you have a split schedule and teachers say, oh, well, I go away for the summer. Now you've got to find new people to work in the summer. And parents, instead of being charged for 9.5 months or 10 months, and then maybe 4 or 6 week summer camp, you are now billing for a 12-month school year. Everybody wins in this scenario, and parents don't have to worry about continuous childcare. There are no losers, excuse me, in a 12-month school year. So why not? Now, the cool thing is, imagine if you did both. So now you are really maximizing profit. And if you add to that, making sure that you've got a teacher who wants to add extra money to their pocket, adding early care, adding late care, and then even having teachers who really want to make more money, opening up during that 1 week off maybe for a small group of children for a little mini winter camp or spring camp, etc. You are maximizing your profits. So the idea here is that you've got to be creative, right? Ambitious, and you've got to figure out more ways to make money. Now, money doesn't just have to come from families. There are other sources of income as well. Many states now actually even pay for playground. So if you are in one of those states where the state is offering playground for free, you can avail yourself of that. But there's a great website, grantwatch.com. Now, I would suggest buying a weekly subscription and then just buying it for 1 week, because most grants are not just up for 1 week. They come out, and then you've got maybe 3 or 4 months even in which to apply for the grant. So just buy it for 1 week. I think it's $12. It's very minimal. What you can even do is partner up. I hope nobody hears this, although it's being recorded. Partner up with other schools and have each school do 1 week a month. That way, every school is only spending $12, and you can share what the grants are that are applicable either in your city, your state, for your demographics, for your style. And if you need help with grants, again, I'm happy to help you with grants. I am very big on not leaving a dollar on the table. And that's what grants are. Grants are money on the table. The other thing that you can do, unknown to many people, is you can go to your local big box retailers. If you go to Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, Kroger's, Target, many of those places, all you've got to do is either go to their websites. Many of them will have websites that will tell you how you can participate in their school programs. Have parents start collecting Kellogg's box tops. Again, just being creative, putting a little work in. Scholastic book orders, parents order books, and then you get free books for your school, having book fairs. I love making sure that I get every dollar that I can possibly get. Not only that, but there's also money out there. We started a STEM program in our preschool about 12 years ago, and there are programs out there that will give you small grant money, micro grants, that are from local educational agencies or universities, et cetera. And the other thing, it's not money in your pocket, but it is excellent free labor. Make sure to contact, and I'm a professor, so I can tell you this wholeheartedly, contact your local community college or university that has a child development or early childhood education program and ask how you can become a fieldwork site. We are always looking for really good quality sites for our students to do field work in. Not only that, but you get to watch them in action as they work for free in your program. Might be a great teacher that you'd want to hire, and they help spread the word that you exist. So these are just some of the ways that you can maximize your profit and love what you do. If you see, I have a smile all the time. I think I'm in the greatest profession in the entire world. I want to be mindful of the time because I promised it would only be about a half an hour. But I am going to share with you, my cell phone number is 310-980-8629. Feel free at any time to call me or email me, tamarandrews43@gmail.com. And that's my spiel.
Great.
Hey.
Thank you all so much for coming. We really appreciate it. For those of you who are watching the recording, hopefully you find it helpful. And thank you so much, Tamar. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.